Hello everybody, this is Tom from the UBR. Recently, I've been playing a few games that came out around the time of Assassin's Creed Unity, and gave up on reviewing for a while. I spent my days renting movies through Gamefly and doing actual social activities. But then, I found myself stuck at home for a while and figured to rent some games on my Wii U, as it was collecting more dust than usual. While waiting for my Gamefly games to come, I got back into Smite and started playing MOBAs as my television continued to collect more and more dust. However, something interesting happened. I got my game, which was Super Mario 3D World. I opened my Dr. Pepper and bag of Lay's and sat down, ready to pass the time. By the time I checked the clock again, it went from 1 in the afternoon to 11 at night, and I didn't stop there. See, recently I've been disappointed with most games that have released in the past year. I have yet to have a genuine system seller on the PlayStation 4, maybe Bloodborne considering that just came out, but I grew bored of most of the games that were coming out ever since November. The majority are multiplayer-centric, or revolve around DLC purchases. However, Super Mario made me clean my Wii U up, because it did need one. After I spent about 3 days playing and replaying the game, I realized something. The game itself, it had polish. The graphics were amazing, the controls were crisp, I got a good 30 hours out of my game, my fair share of rage and triumph, and even went so far as to cry out in joy when I finally beat a level that revolves around nothing but homing bullet bills, with the processing power of the Wii U truly being pushed to its limits. It was amazing, but all this polish was genuine. I mean, don't get me wrong, Nintendo's a company first. I mean, they've been doing a lot wrong recently, but Jesus, Nintendo gave me the best game I played in years. I still play it, and my Wii U library is exponentially increasing by the day. See, the gaming industry has changed. Originally, games were conceived for fun, and they were, for a while. See, I remember growing up and playing games with my siblings in the room, or playing the original Battlefront Online and having a blast on my really bad PS2 internet. Video games, however ugly they looked in the days of the PS1 and PS2, were truly art, for the most part. Now that I'm older, I still play games, and they've carried me through the bad parts of my life. About 3 years ago, I was dealing with depression, and I discovered Skyrim, and that role-playing, however pitiful it may seem to someone who isn't into gaming, it was truly a joy to behold. Any real video game fan would back me up here. Skyrim brought me out of depression, as video games are an experience, and being the Dobakin gave me the self-confidence to go out and restart a social life. And it's been great ever since, where I made the connections to our reviewers and now behind-the-scenes editors, and people outside the channel. So, maybe I sit down and I sigh a little. Every video game I play now wants me to empty my wallet and dish out money like it grows on trees. Evolve, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Dying Light, The Order, hell, even Smite, however, to an admittedly smaller degree. I can't have the game all at once. No, they want you to sign up for things in the game, and most center around multiplayer. And I don't have a problem with multiplayer, but the problem with it is that it eventually gets boring. And they demand $60. They restrict what you can do so as to get you to pay more money. It's a basic business tactic. And somehow, Xbox and Sony are making away like bandits, and we're not noticing what's going on. But then there's Nintendo. Poor Nintendo, they can't do anything right, and for the most part, they can't. However, for the first, so much as the last year, their consoles have actually been selling. And after a lot of contemplation, it is the best of all three. Hear me out and try not to gather a lynch mob just yet. They bring back the vibes that I get from Battlefront and Skyrim. They aren't about microtransactions, setting up sequels, or finding excuses to dredge out what doesn't have any lasting appeal or identity of its own. No, Nintendo comes out and delivers what I don't see anymore. Fun. As corny as it may sound, pure fun. I had a great time with my Wii U recently. I've been focusing so much on it that I actually burnt my charger out and have to go get a new one. They don't focus on microtransactions or sequels, which is different from everything else I see on the market. I put in Super Mario 3D World and got a solid experience out of a $50 game where I bought it. It had replay value, but most of all, memories. You see, memories are what make games great. It's what makes them an art. Call of Duty is no art. It may be playable, but fun is a completely different concept, and it's not just Call of Duty either. Buy Battlefield Premium or the Call of Duty Season Pass. Buy Evolve and it's $200 in DLC. Look, when Nintendo does what gaming was intended for, it does it best. And yet, people buy them the least in favor of other games without heart, and they revolve around money rather than the experience. I mean, The Order was an abomination of a game, and I'm infuriated that I even rented it from GameFly for the 2 weeks that I had it, because it wasn't even worth the shipping price. So, I'm gonna make a claim. Gaming as a whole is doomed. Now hear me out. People don't like the same overpriced crap over and over and over again. Look no further than the gaming crash that killed Atari in the 1980s. I see the same trends occurring. People are disappointed with games. Games revolve around money and pricing and marketing more so than the actual, gameplay. I'm afraid to even trust a quote-unquote gameplay trailer because they only show off the bits that they want you to see. The Order. If nothing changes, a crash is on the horizon. However, there is a way for it not to happen, and I see some of these trends, however small they may be as well. First off, developers need to stop looking for money before effort is put in. Some games, such as the infamous franchise, Halo, pretty much every Nintendo game, and Grand Theft Auto have all learned that. Second, don't put the only company that's resisting corporate BS out of business. Nintendo thrives on the fact that gaming is fun. While yes, their marketing tactics are questionably odd and don't work very well, they release the most high quality in games. And if you total up their exclusives, which is biasedly everything, versus the exclusives of the PS4 and the Xbox One, just take 5 randomly that were exclusive, and you mix them up, the Wii U will always have the higher general rating. Nintendo thrives on the fact that gaming is fun. However, things are looking better as their marketing department has began to pull their heads firmly from their asses, and the big boy franchises have dropped. Not to mention that unlike most modern games, nearly all of them, as I aforementioned, released to quiet, but still critical acclaim. Third, I know, some DLC is good, but there's only one way to stop a crash before it comes. Stop buying as much DLC. Don't buy the season passes, don't buy the Ultimate Edition of games that come out. Look, there is an exception. If they are a trusted developer such as Rocksteady or Rockstar, go to town because you know that you're getting legitimate full expansions to your game. However, if you are willing to pay $15 per expansion, and let's say Battlefield 4, $60 altogether, that's the price of a whole new game, and you're only getting 4 maps, say about 15 guns, and that's it. You are paying so much money for so much little of an experience, and that is the major problem here. I mean, don't buy the DLC packs unless you know they're gonna be good. We have to save gaming. Hell, even if I'm wrong, stand up for your hobby or pastime, and most of all, stand up for your wallets, people. Because when it comes down to it, I'd find a trip to Tamriel, a conduit-infested Seattle, or the Mushroom Kingdom for $60, much more enjoyable than $120 for Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, or over $200 for Evolve. Thanks guys, this is Tom from the UBR, and everyone, have a nice day. Thank you everybody for not crucifying me for what I just said. The urge must have been pretty heavy. Now, reviews will be coming out approximately once per month, obviously stopping with the last one coming out in June. Gameplay and whatever I feel like putting up and whatever the other 2 reviewers and my editing friends feel like will come out in the interim. This decision was made to ensure that all videos released are of absolute top quality and without error, so as to provide the best and most unbiased reviews that we can. We will see you guys next month, and possibly in a nearby gameplay video. Sincerely, Ben, Tom, Alec, Drew, Sam, and Colin, aka everybody involved in the production of the UBR. Thanks guys, and have a great day.